If I think of the time when I was operational as a secretary and then becoming a data capturer, I didn't foresee myself becoming a BA at that time. But because of the opportunity and of the supportive people around me, always pushing me, made that people will always tell me, I know you've got the potential. So you will find that you come, even as a university student, into the working environment. You apply for the post as a BA, but then you will find that you don't have the experience. But no one can give you a job and say, I leave you alone, you go do the job. There will always be support around you. So you will always have a mentor. The person will take you from the step A till Z and explain to you. And even they can't leave you just telling you once how to do it. They will eventually leave you alone if they know you're comfortable and you can do it. So that is what the experience I've had over the 26 years in government. Starting out as a secretary, becoming a BA is because of the experience of working with people that were supportive and also other people mentoring me, and also be willing always to learn. That was for me key. Hardworking, because you can be a qualified you can be what's the right word? You can be a professional person that knows everything. But the key is that you need to be hardworking and willing, because that will make that you will actually be part of the processes, and that is how you learn. And then that is how you would eventually become that 100% BA that you want to be. It all depends on you, the type of person you are.
I think for myself it was slightly different. I worked more from an ICT perspective, so I worked a lot with technology, working myself up from a network support engineer to an administrator, and then I kind of, as I say, hit the ceiling where that was concerned, and I needed a bit of a change. So as opposed to becoming or staying in the technical side of things, I decided to change and start focusing more on the business side of things and seeing how ICT can actually impact and improve business itself. So that's where my interest really grew as a business analyst. And looking at it from that perspective, I think some of the key things to becoming a successful business analyst is also just to keep abreast of newer technologies and things that are out there, some of the buzzwords that are floating around in the industry, and just to try and refresh yourself. You don't have to be an expert in each and everything, but it's just to be effectively well-versed or well-read on various topics. And that really also helps, especially in interviews, when people who are not necessarily technically minded are using certain buzzwords, and you can actually, you're familiar with it, and you're able to converse with them. I mean, this is just general conversation. It really helps ease the interviewees, and helps you also elicit quite a lot of information out of them as well, in terms of having to document it. Another item for myself would be, especially working in this environment, look, as a technical guy, I always believed I knew everything. So for myself, it was actually coming in here and having to listen to people, and actively listening to people. And it's really helped me in my career in terms of having to grow, because having to actually not just listen, but understand what the person is saying, and then having to translate that into, whether it be IT speak or a requirement, and having to really dig into what they're saying to map out something for them, it's actually, for lack of a better word, it's really quite cool. Especially when they can have those light bulb moments and you have it with them. It's quite rewarding.
Yeah, listening is very key, and also taking feedback when you have been criticized, or a person is giving you what I would call constructive criticism, or they've observed something and they're giving you the feedback, and taking that feedback and processing it and doing something about that feedback is very key. And I've seen it, and I've learned that within this team, that no matter how senior you are, you must be able to take the feedback that people are giving you and processing it and working on that, because that is how you grow, that is how you mature as a person. And also what I like with this environment is the culture within our senior management. they are very innovative and they listen to people. If you come with an idea to them, they listen to you, they show you that they've considered your idea. They don't just brush you aside just because you are junior to them. And I think that also has helped me in terms of growth within this directorate.
I think also with that being said, having to understand the fundamentals of business analysis or becoming a business analyst is also quite important. So having to understand the business case and what various things needs to go into a business case and how to articulate that and actually have those types of discussions with senior level managers is quite important. And then having to take that further into a business requirement specification, having to use various other tools to document and map business processes or UML diagrams if and when required in the document. So it's just having to have that understanding to assist you in your documentation process at the end of the day.
And also within our environment, we're responsible to develop ICT plans for all 13 departments. And we do use the approved framework. So there is a set of processes that you follow, and it's standard. So for each department's ICT plan that you will document and develop, you will start from A till Z, but in a sequence process follow the way you actually have to do it. So it's not that SIBO is doing it differently from me. So that's why we can learn from one another. And that is also the nicest part within government, being a business analyst. You go into one department. If you just take Department of Health, Department of Health, Education and Transport, they are the 3 biggest departments of all the 13 departments. Now you as one DA go compile an ICT plan for that department. You go interview many people. You can have even 30 to 40 interviews to complete the ICT plan. But when you're done there, you know that whole department's operations, because you go interview, you go listen to what they do, and you document. And the nicest rewarding part is about you know nothing when you go interview, when you go within a department. You listen to the processes, the challenges, the needs, and then you actually give them direction on ICT solutions that will assist them on their needs and challenges. And that is what a business analyst is about. You actually take their annual performance plan. It's a document that each department must compile, indicating what are they planning for this year. You analyze their strategy, where they want to be. Then you as a BA have to actually align the strategy with CEI. So IT must actually be supportive of the business, and that is where you come in as a business analyst to do the alignment and also to assist the department to accomplish their strategy, their vision and mission statement. So yeah, it is very nice being a BA.
I think also on what you just said, Marjorie, I think that the rewarding side of being a BA is actually, if you are still around, because sometimes in government things do take a while to actually become operational, actually get implemented. But if you actually do get to see how your strategy that you've documented is actually operationalized within a department or within government, and it actually starts meeting certain service delivery schedules or activities or targets or whatever you'd like to term it, it's extremely rewarding to see that you actually had a part in that, and to see how it's actually developed over time and how other people have given input into it as well.
Now, yes, I can also say what I like about our environment is we've just got this in us that no one is better than no one. And no one knows everything. So you can have a strength in something that I have a weakness in, and we assist one another. And we adult enough to even take criticism, or even if someone is prepared to teach me. I'm 26 years in government, but I always say the newcomers coming on board, they come with their new ideas. And it's for me so nice to work with these people, because IT always grow. And you always have to be abreast with new IT technology and innovative ideas. We don't always have the time to go sit and do research. So people come, and they come with the ideas. So we are adult enough, and our team is so nice that we just like to listen to people. And that is key, and that is why it works for us, that we work well together.
That's strangely enough, just thinking that a lot of our ideas in terms of having to standardize on frameworks and processes, those things have been developed over years by the team itself. But I think the reason why it's also a success is because you've actually had a lot of consultants coming into the environment, and from completely different backgrounds, people coming from financial backgrounds, medical backgrounds, and actually just giving us that input from their perspectives actually just shines a light on things that we're trying to do and trying to achieve. So getting with the interns or consultants in, it's always a breath of fresh air. And there's no, as they say, there's no such thing as a stupid question. No matter what your idea is, it adds value to our process at the end of the day.
And you also actually realize, even if it is that you've got all the knowledge and experience within the environment, you also started somewhere. And so for me, if I mentor people, I always have that in mind. I also started out where they were. So for me, even if a person asks me a silly question, nothing is a silly question. Because in my mind, I also started out as a junior, and I know what it is, so you have that patience to learn and share your knowledge and experience. And there's always room for BAs, because within government, everybody is looking for a business analyst to do a user requirement specification, and we do have standard documentation formats that we use. So it's not that you come in as a BA, they leave you, and they expect you to compile something. We do have our standard because it must be approved, and we do believe and we preach standardization across within Western Cape government. So the guidance is there, the frameworks are there, the formats are there, the support is there. So it's not that if you come in as a student or as a new person that you will be left in isolation and you will be totally lost. We take the hand and we guide the person till the person can walk alone. So that is how we operate within this environment.
As the slogan says, better together.
Yeah.